That's better. Hello. Man, Rebels are getting done. Rebels are getting done. At least they scored one try. Hey, Apiwe, how's it going, man? Good morning. What time is it in South Africa? It is about 10:15 over here. RIP Landers, yeah, man, you are not kidding. How's everybody's Super Brew doing? Because mine is not looking good. I did not pick the Sharks, and I certainly didn't pick them by that much. Oh, my Lord. I thought the travel would get to them in the end, but too good. Too good. 11:15, that's not too bad. Although it's a Friday, right? So it's a work day. Must be hard to watch the rugby. Unless you're working from home. Or unless you're a student and there's no school yet. The Rebels need a score. Did they just score? Nice. Maybe the Rebels aren't dead and buried. Is that Cottrell again? Rebels have just scored again. They are not necessarily dead yet. It must be about like 41 minutes. What was the odds of Angus Cottrell getting a double? Pretty slim. I picked the Rebels to win this one, so I'm hoping they make a miraculous comeback. But I don't think so. Highlanders Sharks. Yeah, man. What a hell of a game. I don't think, because I watched it with my old man, I don't think he'd really seen Fussy play before. He was like, man, that guy's quick. Yes. Yes, he's very quick. A lot of penalties and stuff, though. It was really messy at the start. But it was all good. Greetings. Is that Mata? How's it, man? Any of you guys watching this game? Brumbies, Rebels? There's not that many people at the ground, but there also weren't that many at the Highlanders game either, to be fair. (24-14). Rebels will be getting pinged all day long at scrum time, but they might have actually just fixed that right before halftime. Yeah, just before halftime. So we'll wait and see. They're just giving away more penalties. So the ref still certainly thinks they're at the wrong end of the stick anyway. How was Cottrell's second try? Yeah, from about as far out as the first one, man. That guy just a meter from the line. He's going to be a hard man to stop. Don't really care for the Aussie derbies. Yeah, I can see why. Like, if you don't know the teams, you don't know the players. I mean, you probably do, but it's just not as much. I mean, it's like a lot of Kiwi fans wouldn't watch the Bulls play the Lions, even though it's like a rivalry. It's just a thing. Not sure what the attendance is at this game. I would like to know, but It can't be very good. No worries, man. I wish Cottrell would get a try where he was like, I don't know, 10 meters out, but this was just bury that head. Tamua's off, which I find a bit disconcerting, but we'll see how that goes. I get the feeling I'm not going to be taking the Sharks jersey off. That was a hell of a win. Apparently, Fox is pulling out of Aussie Rugby due to the low viewership of Super Rugby. Yeah, I'll be interested to see what effect that has, because although that will likely decrease the revenue from the TV deal, I think that might actually be good for Aussie Rugby if it can be picked up by somebody who's got it free to air, because they're competing with Aussie Rules and League, which I believe at least shows some games free to air. So, yeah, because rugby, I think, has traditionally been like that kind of upper middle class game over there. So they just expected people to have the money to pay for the game, but there's been fewer and fewer people tuning in. So I hope it goes free to air, because I've seen some of the club rugby stuff over there, and they get way better crowds than the Super Rugby. So, but I don't know. I'm not over there, so I'm not in a real position to comment. Oh, the Rebels just won a scrum penalty. That being said, over here, rugby league is also pay to watch. It's on pay TV, and yet people watch it, and that's kind of seen as a lower socioeconomic game, like a lower income game than rugby union over here as well. So, don't know. Do I think Super Rugby is dying? It's certainly not doing as well as it could be. The crowds aren't there. Ironically, except the Sunwolves tend to get really good crowds for most of their games in Japan. But yeah, it's a funny one. I don't know how you fix it. I really don't know. I do think free to air in Australia is a good idea. The advantage a lot of the other leagues around the world have is you get away fans, and you get a few away fans in Super Rugby, but not as many, just because of the geographic distances. And the time zones are a pain in the butt. I don't know anyone that gets up to watch the 2 o'clock in the morning game over here. What will be the winning margin in this game? I hope the Rebels buy whatever I picked them by. I think I picked them by like 5 or something. 4. That'd be nice. I'm not doing well in the Super Brew this year. One thing Super Rugby also suffers from is the stadiums are too big. Like you look at some of the grounds in the Premiership and the top 14 and the Pro 14, like not including the South African teams in the Pro 14. They play in small stadiums, like 10,000 seats, 12,000 seats. They fill them, and it looks really good on TV. Like the Blues easily get more than 10,000 fans into each game, but the stadium seats like 40, 50,000, so it looks empty. But if you put them in a 10,000 seater, it would look full. But there's not a 10,000 seater stadium just lying around. What did I pick? I picked the Rebels by 4. So yeah, I want the Rebels to win by 4. It's dying, how I think it's going to become a feeder league to Europe, Japanese, American, and very similar to football. Can't we have a game clock? It's 49-46. That's what the thing's up to. I hope you're enjoying that, Mr. Unbaker Cake. Good stuff. I did see that Fox in Australia they cut Drew Mitchell and one of their other commentators. Cost cutting. So they used to have like 4 commentators at a game. Now it's just 3. 4's overkill. You only really need 2. Brumbies are about to score. And they stuffed it up. Sorry if I'm ahead of you. They messed up their line out. Sharks won as a South African watching from China. The Sharks did win. That was a great result, man. That must have been a good way to lift spirits. All the news about China right now is pretty crap, to be honest. With that virus, I used to live in Wuhan, so that's pretty disconcerting. Oh, the Brumbies are not going for 3. They're going for touch. I'll have to go to that stadium one day in Canberra. I don't know if there's much to do in Canberra, but I'd have to go there. They've won a few Super Rugby titles. Oh, they did score Fainga. Oh, man. My Super Brew pick is going down the drain. No, it's okay in China news, making it worse than it actually is. Currently living in Beijing. Okay. Hope so. Wuhan looks pretty terrible right now, but again, like you're right, a lot of it is probably sensationalized. I hope. Oh, man. The Brumbies just pulled off a very slick line-out move. Wasn't a driving maul. There was a couple of passes. Alatoa to Fainga. Saw me at the Blues Chiefs game. Did you really? That wasn't my seat. I just sat in it. I didn't buy that ticket, but nobody was sitting there, so I just sat in it. What a kick. $31-14. Man. Just as the Rebels look to be getting back in touching distance, they are looking like they're going to get done again. You've been there to see the Canberra Raiders. Because they play in the same stadium, eh? I can't imagine Canberra needing 2 stadiums. Auckland doesn't need as many stadiums as we've got. Who I got tomorrow night? Chiefs Crusaders. I picked the Crusaders, but only by like 1. It was about as close to sitting on the fence as you could get. You were going to say hi, I had the camera. Oh, man, you should have said hi. I wouldn't have minded. I did have I had my camera on the phone, taking some little videos and whatnot. I'm not even sure if you're allowed to do that, though, because I think technically it's the property of Sky TV in New Zealand. Did I watch Sonny Bill play for Toronto? No, I didn't. How did he go? Send supplies to my in-laws in Shanghai. Masks, goggles, etc. Really? My in-laws are in Wuhan. which is pretty crap because that's where the outbreak is kind of centered, but they haven't really had to leave the house for a couple of weeks, so fingers crossed they are all good. Same stadium, GIO, their fan base is immense. Yeah, the rugby union teams can't really compare to the rugby league teams, I guess. Rugby league seems to have a lot more parity than union. The underdogs win more often than in rugby union, I think. Just a casual glance with no stats to back that up whatsoever. Nah, man, don't have to be sorry. If you see me at a game, say hello. I don't mind. Did someone say hello to me at that game? No, nobody said hello to me at that game. But the next day I went to a toy store. And the dude at the toy store was like, "Don't I know you?" And I was like, "I don't know. Do you know me?" It's like YouTube. And I was like, "Yeah." He was born in Auckland and supports the Canes. Young guy. Too young to know that the Blues used to be good. So that's what happens, man. Your team gets bad. People start supporting other teams because they're more fun to watch. Yeah, I did have the new Blues shirt on. I wasn't going to buy it. I was like, I'm not going to buy any Blues stuff with the NRB on it because it looks horrible, but I bought it. What can I say? I'm a sucker. I am a sucker. Come on, Rebels. They got to try. Now, each hooker has a try. Good maul try. It's not really what the Brumbies are used to conceding. Next time, man. Next time. I'll be going to more Blues games this season, I'm sure. I'm pretty tall, so it should be easy to find me. I was with my old man. Oh, no. Don't chalk it off. Come on, TMO. Oh, no. Super Rugby on paid TV in New Zealand. Yes, it is on Sky TV New Zealand, which is a paid subscription service. Oh, balls. Oh, well. Premature. So much for that idea. Jeez, man. Very sharp eye indeed. What do you think about the attendance in Super Rugby so far? Well, Super Rugby, annoyingly, they don't announce the attendance. But the Blues game I went to was pretty good. This week's games, the Highlanders one was pretty bad. But you have to understand that Dunedin, large parts of their crowd that attend the games are university students, and uni is still not back yet. So a bunch of people who will be going down to Dunedin for studies are not there. Like that one end of the ground, which is all full of all the crazy young fans, was virtually empty because most of them are not local. And the Brumbies attendance in this game doesn't look very flash either. Let's go Sharks. Man, the Sharks had a good one. Pity more fans weren't there to see it. I make videos on my channel, got 15 subscribers. Bro, I remember when I had no subscribers. I still remember my first subscriber. Which South African team do you think will go the furthest in the tournament? Oh, what am I missing? What happened? Dane Petty just got a try. Should I wait until they kick the conversion before I write this one on the board? I was thinking before the start of the tournament that it would be the Stormers and then the Sharks based on the teams. Which South African team do you think will go? Oh, I already asked that one. Gonna go to the Blues Crusaders game. Might see me there. Yes, indeed, man. I'll probably be sitting in a similar place if I end up going. Although my old man, who I usually go to the games with, said if we lose to the Waratahs, he doesn't want to go. We'll see how that goes. All right, this is game on again. $10 points in it. How many minutes to go? Like 20 minutes to go? Could still happen. What kind of stuff have you got on your channel, Harry? Also rugby stuff? Again, live stream the Chiefs and the Crusaders. Chiefs and the Crusaders is on at 7 o'clock, which is usually my kids' bedtime. So probably not, because my daughter is in all likelihood going to either be getting me to pat her on the back so she goes to sleep, or if my wife's doing it, she'll probably be crying. I'm the guy who puts the kids to bed, generally. But I should be able to do the next one, Waratahs and Blues, which could be horrible if we lose. How am I doing on Super Brew? Pretty damn bad. For some reason, I thought the Highlanders would win. I thought the travel would get to the Sharks. And I thought no team can play worse than that loss against the Sunwolves from the Rebels last week. They got to bounce back, and then they played it horrendously bad for the first half. So we'll see. Rugby Challenge 3. I haven't played it. I haven't played a rugby game for probably like 5 years. Is it any good? No beer tonight. It's ginger beer. Does that count? Yeah. Earlier today, my stomach was feeling just a touch off, so I was like, I'll hold off on the beer. Rebels absolutely need to hold out the Brumbies here. They've just got it back within 10 points again. 31-21 after 62 minutes. The Rebels are like 8 meters out on 5 phases, so I think another try and you give this game to the Brumbies. Probably. Put it back to 3 scores. Congrats on 23K. Thank you, man. That happened the other day, actually. I did notice. Pretty annoyed with the Landers. Yeah, bro. They did not show up at times, did they? The Rebels actually turned it over, so they get out of jail for now. Rugby Challenge 4 is coming out soonish. And Rugby... What's the rival game? Rugby 20? The reviews are pretty ordinary. East Auckland, hi mate. Hey bro, how's it going? Rugby 08 was the last good rugby game. I have played Rugby 08 to death. Me, when I lived in Wuhan, which is not a good place to be right now, being this Aussie guy, used to just sit down, drink beers, and play that for hours on end, like edit the players to current names, give them stats that we thought were appropriate, and just played that game to death, man. It was pretty good. It had its flaws, like it had a few exploits and whatnot, but it was a pretty dang good game. Landers lost their backbone. They had a good period in the second half, but it was too little too late, and then the last two tries killed it. Should I stick to my Super prediction with the Chiefs to beat the Sailors by 4? Bro, I'm not the guy to ask. My Super picks are terrible. I'm going the Crusaders, so you should probably go Chiefs. Because I picked the Sharks to lose, and I picked the Rebels to win, and those picks, not good, man. Not good. Honda's played a terrible first half earlier on. Not quite as bad as the Rebels played here, but yeah, it was pretty terrible. Solomon Akatago, and he scored a try. He's doing all right. Man, the Rebels are holding out again. They're like a meter. It's 7 faces. Drop goal. Doesn't make much of a difference, that drop goal. I mean, I guess it means that the Rebels got to get 2 converted tries, but that's points. Mitch Hunt takes a long time to kick because he got charged down. Yeah, the first time he almost got charged down. I think he missed because he was under pressure, and then he actually got charged down. I would have thought learn your lesson, but I guess when it's your rhythm, you can't change it. I will try to see you at the Blues Crusaders game. I haven't got tickets yet. Yeah, me neither. They won't sell out. You can get them on the day if you like. Never got any sleep playing Rugby 08. Yep. You could definitely get lost in that game at times. Not as bad as the Canes last week, indeed. I know. I picked the Rebels because they've beaten the Brumbies 4 times in a row. And I thought there's no way the Rebels can be worse than last week. They'll bounce back, definitely. Apparently. I was third heading south. Oh, well. Be happy you were in third, man. I look at third with envy. Will USA ever get good at rugby? It's competing with a lot of other heavyweight sports over there. Maybe better. Looking for improvement with the Canes. Well, man, if they could score some points, that'd be a good start. I think the Brumbies got this. Yeah, I think so as well. I can't see the Rebels scoring 2 converted tries at this point, but stranger things have happened. Josh, you won there, struggled at 12. Yeah, it was a bit of a weird one to play him at 12, eh? Andre Esterhazen was in pretty fine form. When's Blues Crusaders? I think that's next week. Rugby Australia is screwed. They could certainly use one of the Super Rugby teams to go on a bit of a run this year, and Dave Rennie to lift the Wallabies in terms of performance levels. That's for sure. Oh man, the Brumbies are going to score again. Are you kidding me? What a try. Well, the Rebels are done. Rebels are done. It's interesting with the top league because I saw after the Rugby World Cup, their attendances skyrocketed for the first week, and then they went down a bit, and then they went down a bit, and then they went down a bit. So now, after like 4 weeks of top league, that the attendances are like half of what they were a month ago. So yeah, I think that's still going to take a while to embed itself. Oh, how the hell did he take that ball from behind himself, man? I'm going to the Hurricanes Sharks game. A lot of my boys are definitely letting me down. We're not expecting it for wins. They will be coming back from Argentina, which will make it a bit tough because the Sharks will have already been in New Zealand for the week. So, yeah, it's not going to be easy. Always missed that. This is risking becoming a hiding, people. Hope the Blues beat the Tars. Yeah, you and me both, man. Although I wouldn't be shocked if the Blues lost, though. Yeah, the whiteboard's getting a bit out of control, isn't it? Brumbies are just dominant. Will the Rebels be around in 5 years? That's a good question. I don't know. Will Super Rugby be around in 5 years? The TV deal is going to make or break some of the teams, I think. Rebels hopeless. They got the players, but absolute rubbish. Raining in Durban, gonna be so sad if the cricket is cancelled. Oh, I didn't know there's cricket on. Who's touring South Africa at the moment? Was it England? I know we've got India over here. They've been smashing us, but we did win one game. Being from West Australia, it's bittersweet to watch the Rebels get flogged this year. Force should have stayed. Everything did point to the fact that the Force were doing lots of good things for rugby in Western Australia, like really growing the game, but that didn't seem to be the main factor in the decision. But obviously, I'm not privy to what went on. I'm just reading what I read in the media. Hope they change something in Super Rugby to make it actually sell out crowds. Yeah, man. Seems unlikely, doesn't it? I still remember back in the day when it used to be like a must-see, but it's not really that anymore. Whiteboard won't be big enough. So I know I need some of the Brumbies guys to score 2 tries, not all 1 try to each different bloody guy. Oh, it is England, okay. Oh, one good thing about rugby is it doesn't usually get cancelled because of the rain. Half of Western Australia is Kiwis, South Africans, and Zimbabweans. That'll be why Union's doing so well, huh? What is there in Western Australia? Like 1 or 2 AFL teams, but no league teams, eh? Western Australia is a cashed up state. Is that still true? I thought the mining thing wasn't as good as it used to be. No league teams, yeah. If they get a league team, the Union could be in trouble. Granddad tells me stories about Aiden Park used to sell out all the time. Yeah, man. I remember going as a kid. My dad took me to watch like Auckland. This is before Super Rugby existed. Auckland to watch King Country, and it was like packed, like not sold out, but like really busy. Auckland against King Country. Still pretty well off. Gold prices are solid. Okay. I just remember a bunch of Kiwis returned like over the last 5 years with not as many jobs over there. Like they always do stats on how many Kiwis leave for Australia. And there was 1 year recently where the number coming back actually outnumbered the numbers leaving, which is like that never happens. Do you have any jerseys that have your name on them? Not my name per se, but I did get that on the Stormers jersey. Not every place you buy it from gives you the options, but yeah. All sports in Western Australia have good support base. Okay, that's good. I'd love to say the same for Auckland, but it's not true. We struggle to get people to attend live sports. Why is league more popular in Australia? Probably quite a few reasons. I mean, I'm not in Aussie, so I can only speculate, but it's free. At least I think some of the games are free to air. There's more parity. There's more teams. Like, there's probably more chance of you talking to someone in your office who's a rival fan, and you guys can get that office banter going, kind of thing. Like, there's hardly anyone in my office who supports any Super Rugby team, let alone a team other than the Blues. So, yeah. It's probably easier to understand as well. It's got a lower entry barrier kind of thing. And I think in Australia, rugby is kind of seen as like a private schools game, whereas rugby union is like the public school game. I'm not massive into league as I am into union, but I go to the Rugby League World Cup in England 2021 because my cousin is playing. Part of the Greece national team. Oh man, that's amazing. Didn't even know Greece had a league team. Waikato Renfrew Shield run in 1980 was amazing. Crowds and excitement. Yeah, back in the late 80s, early 90s when the Auckland had a Shield run, that was amazing as well. Didn't you also get it on the Saracens jersey? Good call, man. I did. That's the other jersey that's got it. It's the dominant sport league in Sydney and Brisbane. Same problem for Sydney. Melbourne got the best crowd in every sport. I think league crowds have been down as well. The AFL crowds seem pretty good, I think. Not sure about the other sports in Australia. The Rebels just knocked on, so they're in deep trouble. I can't get into rugby. I love watching the Tongas. That's pretty much it. Are you talking about rugby league? I guess so. If the Blues weren't a thing, who would you support? Ooh. Who would I support? I mean, geographically, I should go for the Chiefs. That's my next closest team. But I would probably be, I don't know, a bit different and pick a team. Like, I've always actually liked the Sharks because they never won the final. They got close so many times, so I always wanted them to win. Maybe the Sharks. I think Malachi Fekito and Charles Piatel will play for Tonga in the next World Cup. Because they've played for New Zealand, they would have to go through the sevens route at the Olympics. I think that's the only way they can get through to change their team, the loophole. But it'd be cool if they did. Rugby league, right? You thought about that. All spread around Australia now, but they're the epicenters. International Rugby League is a joke. I still see my cousin face England. Yeah, but I mean, even in International Rugby League, we saw Tonga beat Australia and New Zealand. So there seems to be more upsets, which I think is a good thing. Rugby Union could use more of that. Although maybe it's getting a bit more of that with like Japan beating Ireland and Scotland at the World Cup and stuff like that. League crowds are bad in Sydney. Okay. Yeah, I'd heard League had been having issues retaining their crowds as well. So it's not, I mean, it's sports in general because people would rather stay home than get out. Like there's a lot to do at home. You got Netflix, you got your phone, you got, video games, you got all kinds of stuff you can do rather than going to a sporting event. I think in America, that's why they try to go with the real classy stadiums with like free Wi-Fi and like TVs everywhere. So you don't even have to go watch the game. You can just go to eat. It just happens to be a game on. Like there's a lot of people who really couldn't care less about the game. They just want to go out and have a good time. And for them, the Wi-Fi is more important than the game. Sharks hoping for Stormers. Yeah, true. Seems like a lot of people don't like the Stormers though in South Africa. I don't know what's the deal. Who do you think's going to get a Grand Slam? I don't know. Wales might do it. They did it last year, but they got a tough trip to Ireland, so we'll see. Rebels are held up. Good to see Mackenzie back for sure. That guy is an entertainment machine. He'll put bums on seats. That's definitely what we want. I was actually at that game last year when he got injured. It was terrible. I think it's a huge mistake to take the League World Cup to USA. Oh, I'd actually forgotten about that. That is crazy. Sydney's got 8 teams for League. I can't even imagine. Oh, there's East. They're like the Roosters, the Rabbitohs. I'm not good with League, man. Manly. Yep. With Lacuna arm at the helm of the Sharks, I have a good feeling about them. Yeah, man, and he's like a real modest guy when he's interviewed, which is something we Kiwis, we like that. That's cool. He was real humble. How true are the rumors Michael Cheika has lost 40 kg and will play on the wing for the Brumbies next weekend? I think that's wrong. Wrong. Marius, hey man. This game's almost over. Rebels are getting done. Does anyone know what rugby league is in the USA? Probably not. They probably think it's the same as Union. Squidge did a video on the Women's Six Nations. I did see that come up in my feed, but I haven't watched any of his videos for a while, which is my fault for not watching. And the Rebels have scored. Too little, too late, but it's a consolation try for the Rebels. St. George, Cronulla, Parramatta, Penrith, and the Bulldogs. Okay, fair enough. Well, they missed the conversion. Not enough time to do anything. People will get league confused with Union, I think. It's all rugby to them. Yeah, man. I mean, you could probably say some people in New Zealand would get them confused. That's the margin points. Yeah, I'm not getting close to this one. Thoughts on Hurricanes Juarez? Do you think emergent travel will affect them? I thought the travel was going to affect these guys, but apparently the travel doesn't mean nothing. Why is Super Rugby bonus point rules different to every other league? I think they're the same as the top 14. Like, it's designed to mean that you can't just turn off. Like, if you're 60-0 in front, you've already got your 4-try bonus point. It doesn't matter if you win the game 60 points to 55, but if you're up 60-0 and the other team starts coming back, there's still an incentive for you to stay 3 tries ahead. So I get the logic, but it is harder to understand. Because, like, I watch games with my old man sometimes, and he'll be like, oh, yeah, that's a bonus point when it's the 4th try. And it's like, nah. Like this game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. No bonus point. You said Brumbies by 12. It's game over. Tigers. I forgot about the Tigers in league. Balmain. Oh, that's it. Game over. Watched almost all the live streams over Cup, but didn't subscribe. Don't worry about subscribing a couple of days ago. Good man. Better late than never. New Zealand Derby games. Yeah, I will try. It just depends on my kids, man, because my daughter doesn't usually go to bed until after that because she still naps during the day. So, but yeah, I'll see what I can do. RIP Rebels. Yep, that pick was done. I shouldn't have gone. My head said Brumbies, and then I saw that stat that the Rebels had won 4 in a row, and I was like, all right, let's go Rebels. Silly. Yes. So it is Chiefs. I'll probably do the one after if I can. We will see. Watch the space. All right, guys. I'm gonna quickly review this. I think I go to bed. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for joining me. Rebels. Bad pick. Anyway, guys, I will catch you again for the next one. Take it easy. See you later.